Yodi ho ho ho, what's going on everybody? This is Hunter. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to take you on a tour of one of my all-time favorite couples coaches for a fifth wheel. This is the 2025 Montana High Country 311 RD, but it is not meant just for couples. If you are someone that has, a small child or just need to sleep somebody occasionally, the rear den, the way that is dispositioned with the kitchen in the middle and the separation with the recliner, I could totally see this working for, various kind of groups of people. Pretty darn cool. I'm curious to see your thoughts. Drop them down in the comments. All the specifications, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes will be down in the description, along with a link where you can access some pricing. Today I'm down at Keystone RV, where they laid out 35 units for me to record. A little bit of a daunting task there, I must say, but I'm going to stick around here for a couple days and hopefully knock each and every one of them out. So there should be some good content here coming for you. Now, if you're not too familiar with Montana High Country, this is going to be like the little brother to the Montana, which is one of the best known names that the RV industry has ever seen. It's been the #1 seller really since their conception, and it is a fantastic product. Now, the High Country is going to be the less expensive version of the Montana, so they cut out a couple things that you might just not want while maintaining the exact same construction quality that got the name that they have now. So like, instead of you still get auto leveling, but instead of the hydraulic auto leveling, these are going to be electric auto leveling. On the inside, you're going to have a little bit of a different, less expensive fascia, but it still looks fantastic. So pretty darn cool. I'm curious to see, what you think, but hit that like and subscribe button, for daily RV content. Let's go ahead and get on into it. Again, it's the 2025 Montana High Country 311 RD. And as we walk in here, I just want to show you this badge right off the bat for 4-season living. So this is going to be suitable for your colder or your warmer climates. And I know a lot of the people that I watch, that watch my channel are down in Texas, and this would work, with that Texas heat. You're going to have big juiced up ACs, added insulation into the floor and the roof. I love that kitchen. I mean, you get moving and grooving room, good countertop space, some cooking. Over here on this slide, I mean, look at this Mac Daddy refrigerator. This one in here is going to be a residential. However, you can option out a 12 volt as well if that's kind of more your speed. But I absolutely love rear den setups, and this one in particular, having the table and chair over here in this slide and a pull-out sofa over in this slide, just make it so versatile. Again, if you are the couple with a child, pull this out for some additional sleeping and you still get enough privacy. I mean, heck, if you wanted to, really, you could DIY it up and put like a little draw curtain over there to make it even kind of more separation. But you're also going to get things like JBL speakers, a smart TV, an electric fireplace to keep you nice in a roasty and a toasty. That puts out about 4,800 BTUs of heat, which basically, in normal human language, it'll heat up the entirety of this camper up until probably where those steps are, because you need proper circulation to push it back. But on a day that's like 45 degrees, 50 degrees, something like that, that'll really be only the heat that you need. The bathroom-bedroom combination is also pretty darn nice. I do really love the bedroom. The bathroom, is kind of okay, but yeah, that bedroom is fantastic. So the balances on this, what you're gonna notice is, or fascia, or whatever the heck you call it, whatever fancy people call this. This is new. It's screwed in from the back, so it's going to be a much sturdier look, but it's also going to be much sleeker because you're not going to notice any staple holes or anything like that. All the windows are also going to be tinted, and they open up for a nice cross breeze. Plus, they got them the old Dracula shades, baby. Stop the old skin from sizzling. Keep some nosy eyes out. Real wood for the box. You also notice there's going to be no carpet here in the slides, and they did a really good job of blending them so that way you can't really tell, where one or the other is just as you kind of walk in. If you stare at it, you might be able to, obviously. But table for 4. This part right here also will expand out for some additional, extra space. So probably out to about right there, play some cards, have a breakfast, hopefully enjoy a good view. And then here off the back again, the fireplace, the 50-inch TV to watch up your Netflix, a little bit of countertop space, a little bit of storage space. Same thing with overhead. I also like how that portion is going to be backlit. I imagine at night, that would be a pretty cool look if you just want to shut down the lights and snuggle up with honey buns over here in this theater seating and watch a movie and kind of set the mood right, I think that would be, adding to that experience right there. The JBL speakers are going to have zones A and B, so that's going to be inside and outside, so you can rock on both sides. And then again, more storage over here. Plus you have the textured glass. Babe, if you're watching, I love you. Flip it back around. The slide starts here and ends where the refrigerator is. But again, a pull-out sofa, and it's going to make about a queen-size bed. It'll come out to, right about there. And then obviously, more windows, emergency exit, so pull, push, and plop. You can get out in a hurry. This recliner is going to be a Thomas Paine collection, so it's pretty darn comfortable. It's nothing too crazy, but it's one of the, they're super firm. So some people love them, some people don't love them. I personally love the firmness on the tush. Good, nice kind of support there. And then this back part is a little bit more cushy. So it's like the ideal setup for me. My wife just tends to like it like super, super soft to the point where it's crazy. She would want to almost sink to the floor, but they're also going to be on the quick recline. So if you don't want to pull out the couch, it's a great little recliner for taking a big old snoozer. The cabinet right in there, not too much to say. You got great storage. Again, residential that you can turn into a 12 volt. So if you want to order it or purchase it with a 12 volt, because you're going to be doing a little bit more, kind of boondocking away from the campgrounds, you can rock that out, no problemo. But I mean, that's just like the same size as the one inside my house. Obviously, you'll have shelvings on the side and whatnot, but a great place for, a week's worth of food. And then, the freezer section, you actually get two different sections right there. Sorry, it's got the traveling tape. Looks like you got yourself a little ice maker too, so that's nice. And then flip it around. We are back into the kitchen. My favorite setup for a kitchen is always these little horseshoe ones. I just think they're super functional. Maybe drop a comment and let me know what you think there. Sometimes I get complaints. Sometimes people love it. Maybe it's just like a personal taste thing, I guess. But the solid surface countertops right here, you're also going to get kind of the two level, which kind of breaks it up a little bit and creates a little bit of separation. Stainless steel undermounted bowl. Ooh, look at that, baby. That is nice. I don't know if I said it, but real hard wood for the cabinetry. They also have the magnetic latch with the little copper tab right there to lock it on in. And then, whoa! Stainless steel undermounted bowl with the high-rise faucet. Whoosh, 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 hitting those dishes from all angles. Here up under the sink, massive storage space with access to your plumbing. And that's also going to have a little valve switch right there. So if you want to shut it down in the case of like a leak or something, you absolutely can. Magnetic strip with the hooks, whether you want to put, like a little towel, a mug, or some knives. You got the ability to do that. I'm surprised everyone doesn't do that. I think that is just a super functional little addition that probably doesn't cost more than, a couple bucks. It's a no-brainer. One of the only things that I would change in some of these RVs is when this door opens up like that. I'm a barbarian, so I'd probably Wreck-It Ralph that. If this was something that could maybe like pull out or something, that might be kind of neat. But either way, it's a ton of storage. And then you also have your plug-in for your microwave all hidden away. Residential GE microwave with the potato mode. 3 stovetop burner to whip up all the fixins, and then you have an oven big enough, for like a pizza, and then you're also going to get 4 pull-out drawers, and those are going to be on the soft close. But that's a good kitchen. That's a good kitchen. It's a good rear den. It's a functional setup. Now the AC, it's a 15K Coleman Mach, so if you're not familiar with it, they actually have a house filter that you can put into there to help give you a little bit higher, air quality like you would see, inside of your home. Right behind this door, directly across from your entrance, is going to be your control panel. So you can turn on all your different lightings, you can check your tank levels, turn on the tank heaters. So if you're not familiar with those, they're basically 12-volt pads that you can turn on once it gets a little bit chilly to basically keep the tanks from freezing. So if it's under 32, slap those bad boys on up and don't let the poo freeze. So right here, you have the tankless on-demand hot water heater. As long as you have propane, you have instant hot water. And then this is going to be the Max Air fan. So the old steamer stink sucker from whatever you're cooking, you are ready to rock. You also have the control for your heat and AC right here. fuse box and a central vac system down there on the ground. And you also got these really cool hooks for maybe like, you know, a hoodie, dog leashes, keys, little cork board for little messages. And then you have the floating steps with the nightlight and a grab handle to help you kind of walk, you know, up on in. Now this is the only part of the camper that I wish I could change, and that would be away from the corner radius shower. But I'll tell you, I have toured probably 1,000 RVs at least, if not maybe a little bit more, because when I first started, I just did a lot of shorts. If you're going to get a corner radius shower, it has got to be this one, because I am a bigger guy. I mean, I'm 6 foot, 300 pounds, so I'm not a tiny guy by any means. But this one, even though it's not ideal to me, you still have enough room to where you can take like a normal shower. I mean, you're just not having a dance party, but you got a pretty good shower head. If you're about 6'5" in here or so, you would fit in it, you know, just fine outside of the, you know, the head bonker right there. But a place for your soaps, a little place where you can pop your leg up, maybe do, you know, some shaving or something. Storage here, porcelain foot flush throne. Let's go ahead and take a seat in that. Again, I'm a little bit of a wide body, and both left and right, you're good. The only thing that I don't like, which I said in the 295 RL video that I just did, is this portion right here. I'd probably like to see this part cut out or maybe somehow adjusted, because I don't really like it being on my back, and I like to kind of like, probably wouldn't be a big deal, but it is, I don't know, your head's hitting it if you go back too fast. Mirror for the old bowling gun, baby. Decent amount of countertop space as well. You also have the little plugins right there. I do like how this is offset over to the side. I think that's pretty neat. Gives you a little bit more room. Again, access to your plumbing, and then 4 more pull-out drawers. You're also going to get washer and dryer prep here in this closet too, so that's pretty special. You know, maybe turn this into a little home away from home, home on wheels if you're doing some work that requires you to, you know, extended stay out. That's why they beefed up that insulation, added the tank holders, you know, added the option for washer and dryer, dual entry into the bathroom, which I think is nice. You have your other control for your AC here. Now this is going to be an east to west slide bed, but you also have it as a king with some countertop space on the edge. And then here underneath, some pretty clean cut storage there too as well. Notice that it is hands-free on the strut system. So you got an area for your CPAP here, also your cell phones and water bottles up top with additional plugins, and then a window right there. You know, maybe, I don't know, get a little bit of breeze going. The dresser, I'm a big fan of. I mean, it's got the obvious, the 6 pull-out drawers, but also has a little bit of hidden storage up top. And what's interesting is you notice that little rubber stopper. Well, that is because this is going to pull over and then stop right there. So you get a little hidden storage there. But then right here, imagine putting like a little chair, or, you know, if you're kind of like me and you can kind of bend over, I imagine, you know, doing some work right there. You got plugins up top, but converting this into like a little desk area, just super smart. It's the same thing that everyone else is doing that has these hidden tops, but they just lined it up like that. So it's a little bit just more functional, you know, just a better use of their space. And that's why, you know, Montana reigns king, baby. More storage, a great little viewing window right there, again, with the old Dracula shade, and it's too tinted, you know, to see in, so you don't have to worry about playing, you know, friendly neighbor. You got the USB Universal C, 2 outlets, 2 pretty massive pull-out drawers there too as well. More storage, and then, you know, kind of more storage right there that you saw. But, I mean, drop a comment, let me know what you think. Probably 6'4" of head height in here, and this is your second 15K AC. But let me know what you think about this floor plan. Now I'm going to head around the outside, show you where everything is located, everything that you need to know. But again, it's the 2025 Montana High Country 311 RD. And if you guys do not mind, drop a comment, hit that like and subscribe button, say hello. You have no idea how much just a simple hey really helps grow the channel. So if you guys wouldn't mind doing that, I'd be appreciative. It's the winter time, so money starts getting a little bit tight for a guy that makes videos for a living. I can tell you that. And with 4 kids and wrestling season, it does not get any cheaper. So all of these specifications, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes, including a link for the pricing, will be down in that description. You have your molded fiberglass front cap sitting there shining up like justice with those amber lights. And that's what I was talking about for the bedroom. I mean, you can't really see in. You can see the lights. but it is difficult and it's high up there. You're also going to get a little bit more of a comfortable ride with the Road Armor hitch. So this right here will actually rotate. It'll do some of that chucking and bucking, and it'll really help you be a little bit more comfortable as you are driving. Electric auto leveling, and then you have a little cutout where you can put a generator, battery, you got your inverter. You also have your battery disconnects and then your solar charge controller there too as well. Behind this door, you're going to have your propane. And then on the other side, you will those are incredibly tight. On the other side, you'll also have another bottle of propane, so 220s. You also have on this model is going to be a drop frame, which allows you to have more space. This thing also holds like 3,600 pounds worth of cargo carrying capacity, so pretty darn nuts. But that tough kind of beat me up material right there. You also have outlets, satellite, and cable. And then you also have the aluminum frame construction that's welded at all points with the LED lights, so pretty darn nice. Outlets here. You also have the wind resistant door up to 25 miles per hour. And you also have the Lippert screen assist just to kind of make opening that a little bit easier. The solid steps that flip up into the doorway, and then dual awnings with the underglow LED strips. So both of these create some good shade over here on your camp side of your camper. The two speakers are right there and right there. So that way you can get them nice and bumping. Remember, those are JBL, so a nice little brand name for you. Even those little pills do a really good job. I think this has 200 watts of solar too, by the way, but I'll put a link down to that, in the description, so that way you can check it out. You got bigger tires. You also got yourself some Road Armor suspension, so better experience there. Extra large grab handle, and then you're also going to get an exterior kitchen here on this model. And give me 1 second. It's a little hard with the camera. So you just pull those two little tabs down, and now you got a little griddle cooktop, which I think is pretty darn nice. And then you got a beer that's probably good enough for about a 30 rack of apple juice. Another thing that I enjoy is you're going to see like metal slam latch doors with the magnetic clip there. So that's going to be, a nice little feature to have there. Let's go ahead and pop that back over. Heading up the back, you'll see a ladder that's good for like 250 to 300 pounds to get on top of your fully walkable roof. Check your seals, check your slides, make sure all the maintenance is on the old up and up. You got your 2-inch receiver with a 300-pound hitch rating or 3,000-pound tow rating with your 4-way flat. You also have your 50 amp connection located right there. So that's going to be where you're going to plug in the unit, when you're down at the campground. And each one of these slides here are going to be slide topper prepped, which you can tell from that little black bar. So basically you can put a piece of canvas that goes from here to here, prevents debris from falling on top of your unit and, potentially causing a leak. Now, one thing that Montana does that you guys will enjoy is if you do forget to put, clean off that slide, before something does puncture into that seal, you can see you have a couple different flaps in there. So it's going to be a nicer way of doing that as well. As we keep moving along here, you're going to have your sewer outlet right here. And then you also have your gray tank right there. Let me see what's behind this. So yeah, access point to the valve. And then remember when I was talking inside about that tankless on-demand hot water heater? This is the back end of that. So if you ever need to get into it, this is going to be where that is located. You also have your docking station. And this is kind of like a Keystone Classic for their fifth wheels. But they have their docking station with a hot and cold water access in the form of an outside shower. Your winterization where you can pump in the antifreeze, city water connection, and your black tank flush, which is going to be basically a sprinkler system for your poop tank. You also have the Key TV connection right here, and then solar on the side, that's going to be for ZAMP, and I believe that is for 20 amps of just little extra kind of briefcase solar if you would like. High and low right here, and then you got your propane, the control for your auto leveling. And guys, I think that about wraps that up. But again, it's the 2025 Montana High Country 311 RD. Hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Hope to catch you next time. My name is Hunter. Have a great day. See you. Meow, 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 meow,